I can remember what's the name of this movie? Arnold Schwarzenegger won the movie with the games. Game movie. Man, the Running Man. Okay, there's so many stuff that I didn't see and I have to see when I'm referring to stuff. Man, I should have took a place but anyway, so I had no time. So basically, and the money, my time is gone. So basically, I was looking north and I see this guy. I guess it's a Mario movie now or something, some bullshit like this, and that is gonna affect everybody. But I see over there, and it was in the mouth of I guess a dragon or something, and there's somebody sitting in there with a little bit decor, not much around, and I knew it was a game and a dodgeball game. And I had this ball, and it was open when it was in front, and then it went up, and up it was more open the mouth. So I'm like, oh, I have to throw it when it's open. But then it kind of vomited. I guess, I'll stick to the information and not say illusion of this or that. It vomited towards me, and when it vomited, kind of greenish, it gathered also the people I didn't saw, 2 or 3 cameramans to my side. At this point, nobody threw nothing. I didn't throw the ball. We didn't because they were sliding. I guess it wasn't supposed or something. And then I saw myself walking towards a guy standing. That seems to me we're about to do something, which in fact will be a swimming race. And this guy standing in front of me, and then he didn't look of much when I looked at him. So I talked to him, like somebody would talk before a race to a guy that you don't think he's a threat to you winning. So I guess I talked to him, and next time we're swimming, maybe 9 people, whatever, we're swimming on the left side, and we go one land and back. And I remember I was doing short strokes, and I was just behind him, but I was surprised that I was doing well, because I'm not a swimmer at all, due to my breathing problems, I guess, or something. But I was doing well there, and we went back, and I was just behind him. And after the race, I was surprised, like I said, that I doing well. I thought I would have win, and I went to talk. It's the same guy. 40 years old guy, doesn't seem like much, and I thought I was doing so well that it was almost a big championship, almost. But I asked him how much we were. He said about 10,000, and the only reference about 10,000 I remember, it was about being a originator. We were like 10,000, or it was what, 1 in 10,000 back then, that somebody referred to me the information. And I guess we were what, 10 billion, so that makes us 10,000 people, right? If you add the zero, do the math. I'm not even gonna take 2 seconds here to do it, but I guess I will. 10,000. Sorry, I just woke up, and we had 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 0, which is 1 billion only, right? A 100 million, not even. What the heck? 1 in 10,000. Yeah, but I guess we're not 10,000 that do that kind of. I mean, 10 billion. If we are on the planet that do the kind of work that I got the information about. So that's why maybe when I thought about it back in a few months ago, it kind of made more sense. I'll talk about it later on, or check it. So basically, let's go back to the story. It tells me 10,000, and so he was talking about ranking in the world, and I was like, thinking, I could have done better. And I said, what about the first one? I said, oh, he would not even see us. And he was thinking about in the back, if he would back in the race, he would. I felt the distance, but it was more an expression that he would be so much ahead that he wouldn't see us in his eyesight. But I kind of figure out that the distance and would not be so big that he will be. And he was talking about Michael Phelps, the first in the world of swimmer, and I was like, oh yeah, because he has a long trunk, he's doing well with the woman and all whatever, swimming sexual side and whatever. And I was thinking, when I was a boxer, I try. I had a slip of word here. When I tried to be a boxer for 1-2 months and aiming at professional boxing a few years ago, not too long ago, and I was training. And I wanted to explain to him that when you do something and you don't lose time, it's like a race, and you can do well and be a champion. And it was about training. And I almost told him the story that I remember I rented a house, and it was in Niagara Falls, and I took a break from Toronto, and I rented this house, and then I started to feel comfortable and train about boxing, and there was a gym there. So basically the story was that I wanted to sleep with this lady before I start training boxing, and then she came back after I start training, and I didn't even open my door. I was training and didn't want to do anything because I didn't want to slip. I didn't want to go backwards and with the training, and was just racing, and not because I don't like women at all. 100% I do, but you see, when it's about when you're working, when you do something that's when I thought about Michael Phelps, because that's when he came in, because this guy I heard in a documentary somewhere on TV that this guy swims so much, he swims even in his birthday. He doesn't stop swimming. He swims for hours every day. So he's so much ahead of this. But this is the story I wanted to add on this. I wasn't supposed to say something. I think I said it, but not quite as I could about this, and how to be a great champion. So basically, it's not really when you start or young, is when it gets to you. For example, me, I was sick, and then it got to me really late in my age. I remember when I was looking at the boxing, I was so right that I spoke with a neighbor of mine that he started laughing because life goes on. His father wanted him to be a boxer, and he knew about it. Anyways, and so he's like, and his name was Joshua, and he's like, oh, Joshua, this was 2018 beginning. And I said, no, there's just a good boxer right now, and his name is from the video, and he told me Lomanchenko and the other Triple G, especially Triple G and the other one, and they lost, and TB2, and he told me those two boxers, and I was like, nah. He told me also the guy that's they call it the Matrix. I was like, yeah, but I said no, the only one is Beterbiev. And I didn't know he's from Montreal, and because this guy was not fighting a lot, sometimes one fight a year, I believe, and now he's like champion, undisputed. It's not popular because he's Russian, and my goal was to fight him, and those two B's name, and this guy has 100% knockout, and I saw it would be a tough, bloody fight with but this guy, unfortunately, and I remember I befriended him on Facebook. Now he's a champion. He won't befriend nobody, and I remember I had this gaze when I trained. Well, now I'm talking so much. And then he came and fought this guy that called the nail, and the guy was chewing gum, and he's like, and the face off, he's like, what did I got myself into? It just that gaze of a tiger fight or whatever. That Beterbiev next fight after he befriended me, I had this little case on Facebook when I was training. And I kind of slowed down. A good guy said it's not good to hit people, but I knew I had something like better than him, and it was the religion, and that's where he's lacking. Uh, if your religion is not true, even if you're healthy, good, and fight, there's a lacking somewhere, and then that's when I knew I could beat him, and that's interesting, I guess. But then I got arrested into a fight when I was being jumped by somebody, and there was a hill down, and I hurt my leg by falling, and I kind of got depressed, false accusation, and I just kind of traveled to train somewhere else, and there was no openings there, and I did an acid somewhere, ended up in church crying, and that's when I stopped. Anyways, but yeah, that's the story of training. I hadn't mentioned it one time, but that's how you can become far from where you are. It's not when you start it. When it goes to you, that's the moment, and whatever you're doing from there to when it gets to you, and if you like it from that point on, it's on for you, man. You won't lose too much time.